Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everyone. Episode 240 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's being tempted by the devil with me tonight?
It's a pathological Metroidvania completionist, Kerry Chandler Carusetta on Twitch and YouTube.
And Michael Colby, serial Castle Metroidvania starter and never 100%er from Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex.
It don't feel bad. I played this game in save states, so yeah. I don't regret that decision at all.
As long as you enjoyed the game, no shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to play this on legit hardware, but then the legit hardware didn't like my not legit copy, and then I decided to fuck else play save states. So, but then I fixed it. We are here to talk about Castlevania: Dawn of Sorrow, which came out on the DS, developed by Konami in 2005.
Wow.
Damn, took me almost 20 years to finally play this game.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I have a couple funny things. One, I actually thought I was going to buy this game. I had a memory of my buddy, his ex-girlfriend bought him this game, and then I was like, hey, and then years later, I'm like, hey, I want to buy that off you. I have a 3DS now. He's like, all right. He's like, I got the case and everything, and then we're talking, and then he pulls it out, and it's Portrait of Ruin, which I already had Portrait of Ruin. I'm like, oh, I thought you had Dawn of Sorrow. For some reason in my head, I thought it was Dawn of Sorrow. It was the wrong one. That's my history with the game. Never played it until this past week.
This was the first time you played this?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh,
I hate
cool.
DS. That's part of it.
You hate DS.
I wasn't a DS guy, really, and I had one. I had a launch model, but I didn't have any DS games because it was 2000. I got my DS in 2004. I don't know. I just didn't really care I didn't get into it a huge amount. 2003, I bought it off somebody, so I didn't buy it the year it came out, but it was short. I got a good deal on it.
Yeah, I think I came late to DS, a little late to DS. I got a DS Lite in like 2007, 2008. So that's not that late. Yeah. I mean, I think the DS came out in like 2004. So yeah, so I got a DS Lite then, and then I got a 3DS like 2014, something like that, 2012, 2015, something like that. But yeah, I think I first played this around 2017, maybe somewhere around there. And I 100%ed it back then. Which is, and then I did that again this time, but then this time I also went and beat it on Julius mode and almost beat a randomizer of it, but didn't quite finish the randomizer by the time of recording. I got about an hour left on the randomizer, I think.
So disappointing.
Yeah.
I think I bought a DS for this game because I loved Aria so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
Aria's great.
Aria is amazing. And yeah, once they started putting these games out on the DS, I was like, well, I guess I'm buying a DS. And it might be the last Nintendo hardware that I like.
Yeah, I completely played them out of order. I played Dawn of Sorrow, then Aria of Sorrow, then Portrait of Ruin, or Harmony, whichever one you play as a Belmont, and it's like traditional Castlevania, but you have the cards. Is that Harmony or
no? That's Circle of Moon.
The Circle of Moon.
Not a Belmont.
Okay. Oh, well, okay.
You have a whip, but you're
a whip guy.
Yeah, and you have the cards, and I played that once on a smartphone with no controller. I need to go back to it though, because that was a terrible experience. I beat it though. I beat it with save states with no buttons, but I need to go back.
Good
yeah,
Lord.
I played that on my. I guess I played it emulated first, but then I ended up buying the Castlevania Advance Collection on my PS5, and I beat it. And I tried to 100% it, and I gave up on 100%ing that one because the drop rates on the cards are ridiculous on some of them. So
I have it on PC too. I haven't played it yet, but I bought it. Like, well, I'm going to emulate all three of these when I do them for the show, but I'll give you money because you deserve it. So
yeah, well, I do own legitimate copies of every one of these games, but I actually ended up playing this one this time on an R4 card, just for convenience.
Okay, is it an R4 card like essentially you just micro SD card and put your own games on?
Yeah, it's a micro SD card. It's basically like the EverDrive for the DS system. Okay, so only costs like $15.
That's what I did too. I bought one of the 511 games in one thing, and then I just took off all the games, put what I wanted on.
Exactly, and I put my own on there, and I have like a randomizer folder where I made randomizer copies of Aria and Dawn and Portrait of Ruin and all that. So, or Circle the Moon.
After beating this, now the only Igavania game I haven't played is Order of Ecclesia, or however you pronounce that. That's the only one I haven't touched.
I haven't played that one yet, but I own it, so I just have to get to it.
That's the best one on DS. That is the best DS one, and I will fight anyone.
That it's gonna happen because now that I found people that are like, "Hey, let's do it," it's gonna. Yeah, we're just.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I definitely do that. Yeah.
I've been thinking about what you said, Michael, about doing a Metroidvania. So I might March next year might be Metroidvania March if you guys are up for signing up for a bunch of stuff.
I probably played a bunch of them. So
yeah, I almost assuredly have played any of the Metroidvanias here. This is like I'm old, and I bought Symphony of the Night on the original PlayStation. It was one of like the 5 games that I owned on the original PlayStation because, I was a kid back then. I was a broke-ass teenager.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Oh, you're old. Mike finally has a guest older than me. I'm 40. I'm always the old man on the podcast.
Well, now I'm the old man.
I'm 35.
I pass on the mantle to you.
I found out today. I thought I was 34. My wife's like, no, you're 35. I'm like, oh, damn, you're right.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night's one of my favorite video games ever. So.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night, I bought like almost by accident. I didn't realize what I was getting into when I bought that, but like I was a fan of Super Metroid. I mean, I go back to Metroid on the NES, but like I didn't know that they were making games like that as Castlevania games because I liked the NES Castlevania games. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to try this thing. And then I got incredibly addicted to it, and I bought every legitimate like Metroid and Castlevania since then. So I'm sitting on probably thousands of dollars worth of DS and PlayStation games that I probably won't get rid of because I'm an idiot.
I understand. I mean, the reason I never played this before, like for DS, because I wanted to buy it for DS, but I wanted to buy it with the case. And I wasn't willing to spend a lot of money, so that made it difficult.
Yeah, you're not going to get this without.
Yeah, I mean, I got Portrait of Ruin. Actually, I walked into a GameStop and they had Portrait of Ruin with the case.
That's because Portrait of Ruin is awful.
Oh, I love Portrait of Ruin when I played it.
That game.
And that was
and I'm getting them mixed up. Portrait of Ruin is
the World War I one with Jonathan and the girl Charlotte. I think it's World War I, or is it World War II? I think it might actually be World War II era.
I don't remember, but that's the one that I like begrudgingly finished. I was like, ugh,
game's hard.
I was like, I can't stand this game. Order of Ecclesia is harder, so get ready for that.
Well, I'll be cheating, so it's okay.
Okay,
I won't be playing legit. I was good. I wanted to play this legit, but my card was acting up, and then when I finally took my card out and like I had to pop the memory card back in and like tighten it, and then it worked fine. Mm-hmm. Good job, AliExpress. I'm sure that's where it came from, but. After that, I got it, but then I just didn't. Also, with the DS, with the cartridge, I don't think I can close it. If I put it in sleep mode, it just shuts down. It just doesn't work. You have to you can't. If you're done, you need to just turn it off and be done, or go back to the home screen. You can't just like walk away from it.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
But also, and as I played through this game, I realized I don't want to play this game legit because this game is fucking hard. Oh. So I also played this game wrong. I have to put that out there.
I want to know why.
Yeah, I want to hear.
It's hard because this is.
Yeah.
What are souls? I don't know what souls are. I didn't use souls really. I just fight people and beat them down. That's how I play these games.
So why?
I don't know. I never really messed with souls until the final boss.
But didn't you and I play through Ritual of the Night on here for this podcast?
Because I used souls then.
Okay.
For some reason, I just never used souls in this game. I just fought with just a regular sword all the time. I got a couple different, so I played this game completely wrong. I was well aware of what I was doing was wrong. Okay. Like I'm not like, oh, the game's stupid. No, I don't know why. I didn't find souls I liked, or I just didn't. It was a weird situation. But yeah, I played this game completely wrong because you're supposed to use souls. You have to use souls. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But
yes.
It makes the game a lot harder when you just play like, okay, we're gonna play
some like insane hard mode.
Yeah, that's sort of how I always play Souls games through the first time. Is like I know that I know that there's easier ways to do this, but I'm just going to power my way through. So I totally get it. That's a totally valid way to play a game.
It was a weird thing, and I don't recommend it because the game, like, people keep telling, this game is super easy. I'm like, not for me.
I was going to say this game. If there's a criticism, it's that it's too easy.
Yeah.
So it's, but okay, yeah.
Not when you play it wrong.
If you're playing with one hand tied behind your back, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard then. It's a hard game. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Like, it wasn't until you told me to use the fireball on the final boss where I had no choice but to use souls because the damage just wasn't enough. With save states, I was able to, drinking tons of potions, I was able to cheese my way through the game without using souls.
Yeah, you have to use the tools that are at your disposal.
And I think I did in Aria. I don't know what it was, but I didn't like the souls I got. I was just never, I don't know why I didn't do it.
Well, when you play Order of Ecclesia, I'm telling you right now, you are not going to be able to power your way through that game because that game is hard when you're using your spells. So if you're going to try to power your way through that one, it's going to be a bad time.
It's going to be, what spell should I get, guys? You tell me, and okay, here we go. I mean, I've always been interested in this game because technically this is the last game in the Castlevania timeline that we'll probably ever get. I'm assuming at this rate.
Yeah, for sure.
This takes place in, like, I forget, after the apocalypse, happened. Dracula's dead. I forget what year this is supposed to be.
2036.
Yeah.
Okay. And it takes place after Area Sorrow, where, spoiler alert, you're Dracula, essentially. Reborn.
Yeah.
For those that don't know.
Essentially.
And I'd like that. I mean, I had known of this game.
You're a vessel for Dracula to be reborn, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, in this game, in one of the modes, you become Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, if you do it wrong, you will become Dracula.
Julius mode, the final boss is Soma as Dracula.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I looked it up after.
Yeah, I don't think I ever beat Julius mode.
This is the first time I ever that I ever did, and it was. Now that was hard. Julius mode was hard. Like, that was legitimately a hard game, just because there's no way to heal.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that because I have to heal in games like this.
Yeah, well, with save states it would be easier, but I played so I modify and repair video game consoles on my Twitch and YouTube, and so I've got a bunch of DSs out in my workshop. So I just grabbed a working DS from my workshop and popped in the card and played on that until I broke the L button, and then I tried playing without the L button for a while, and it was just on Julius mode, like, you need it to be able to, because to get up to places, you need to be able to do the up and L move. And so I eventually went and got a different DS out of my workshop and switched over.
So Julius mode is what? Like it's like Richter mode in Symphony of the Night?
Yeah, but it's more like it makes it like Castlevania 3.
Okay.
Because you start off with just Julius Belmont, but then you find Sonia. Is that her name?
Yoko. Isn't it Yoko?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is Yoko. You find Yoko and you find Alucard, and they join your team, and then you can switch between them as you're going. So you press like the X button to switch between them, and so Yoko, she doesn't have a very good jump. Well, her jump's all right. She's a little slower than everyone else. Her melee attack doesn't do very much damage, but it refills mana when you hit with it, which I figured out roughly 90% of the way through the game. I was fighting a really hard boss in the Silenced Ruin. I was fighting the Silenced Ruins boss. I was fighting Death. That's what it was.
Death is fucking hard.
I was fighting Death, and I just ran out of mana, and I was just decided to whack Death with Yoko, and it started refilling her mana. I was like, oh wow, that would have been good to know. But so she has spells. She does like a fire spell that's like a little flame in front from your hand, and she does a ice spell where those those like ice nymphs you fight that have like the 3 icicles. She makes a ring of 5 of those around her that fire out in a spread that just do massive amount of damage. And then she has a chasing like electrical like ball lightning spell where she sends these little ball lightnings that chase foes and just attach to them and shock them for not a lot of damage, but it builds up. So she's pretty cool. And then Alucard, it's basically like Symphony of the Night. It feels just like Symphony of the Night. He's got the same kind of like move set with his jumping around and stuff. His A button attack does. Well, did you get the Alucard sword at all in the game? Okay.
No.
So if you have the Alucard sword, the A button move, it does the Sword Brothers spell where you like teleport behind someone and go pop, 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 attack them and then fly back.
Oh, that's cool.
So he has that, and then he has I can't remember what it was called, but the like Dracula spell where he pulls out his cape and 3 fireballs fly across.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that, and then he can just turn into a bat.
So it sounds like I played this wrong because it sounds like Julius mode is the good game that's in this card.
Yeah,
if you want to play it like a
if you're like a class, like I'm gonna say, like this is my second favorite Castlevania game after Symphony of the Night. I love this game, but if you're a classic Vania fan, then yes, Julius mode is like a really, really fun way to play the game. It's just hard because there's no items, there's no gear. So, but you start off like Julius is very powerful.
Yeah,
to start off. He starts off with double jump, and he has a like Shoryuken, which is the L+1 L and up, which doesn't go as high as the L and up move that you get in this as Soma eventually. You know, that's just the space jump basically that you get from this in Symphony of the Night. It's not as good as that, but then I also figured out about halfway through the Julius mode that Alucard has that also. He has that, and then once I figured that out, it's like, oh, okay, so just run around as Alucard all the time. That's what I did. I just basically played as Alucard for the last half of the game.
That's always the best option.
It's also the same,
except for on bosses, because Alucard didn't really have anything good for bosses. Whereas like as Julius, you have all the sub weapons and you just flip between them. You don't have to pick them up. And so Holy Water is as OP in this as it is in Castlevania 1. It's as OP as it's always been. And so on bosses, it's just spamming Holy Water until you run out of mana.
Nice.
It's pretty good strategy. And then on the bosses that fly around like Death, Yoko's ice attack is pretty hefty. But Death was the hardest boss in the game for me on Julius mode, whereas he was not hard at all in the regular game. But in Julius mode, he was a beast.
So disappointing in this game.
I mean, I don't know. Disappointing. It's just the game is like if you're using the right souls, it's so easy. Is the thing. I mean, I thought the death fight was, as good in this as it is in any of the others.
It was ridiculously hard for me. I mean, because most of these fights, I didn't have to save state in the fight. I could just bum my way through it using potions and just dodging when I could and hitting when I could. But for death, I literally had to save state every hit and play like that because it was just he would just do so much damage compared to my weapon.
Yeah, I mean, his patterns are pretty predictable. The biggest problem I found is that attack he does where the skulls fly in from both sides.
I couldn't dodge that for the life of me.
You kind of jump around in the middle of it, and it's not that bad. But if you get hit by one of them, then it bounces you to the other one, and then you bounce you to the other one. And that on Julius mode, if you got hit by that, each skull did like a fourth of my life. So it basically, to beat him on Julius mode, I had to basically perfect it. I had to not get hit by the skulls at all.
I think I would have used souls had I not had a choice. Like had I been playing this on the actual cart like I wanted to, I probably would end up using souls because I wouldn't have had a choice. I would have had to learn to use souls, or I would never have been able to cheat.
There's some like really good souls, like the Mandragoran or whatever, the Mandragora.
The little screaming things that are from Harry Potter.
Yes, man, those things are so powerful. That soul is so powerful.
I got some souls. Like I didn't really farm too many souls in this game because I did a couple times to upgrade weapons, and that was ridiculously long. Like Valkyrie, I farmed at one point. I must have killed 100 of those things. It felt like
the Valkyrie. The one that's the worst was the creature. I spent probably 2 hours farming the creature because as I was saying, I 100%ed. I did 100% not just map exploration, 100% soul completion, and that is 100% souls. That is really, some of them are it's not as bad as the other game I was speaking of earlier, but
Aria of Sorrow.
No, Aria of Sorrow. It's a lot easier. There's not as many souls. I've 100% sold Aria of Sorrow a couple of times. The Harmony of Dissonance, or no, not Harmony. Circle of Moon. Getting all the cards is really difficult in that one. There's like 1 or 2 cards that just have like a 0.001% drop rate. But in this one, the only one, the really bad ones, was the creature, which is the Frankenstein thing, Yeah. He has like I think it's like a 0.01% 1% drop rate on his soul.
That's
And he has
too low.
Yeah, and then the final guards, theirs are hard just because it takes so long to kill them.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the Iron Golem. The Iron Golem, no matter what you hit him with, it does one HP.
Mhm.
Yeah, I never killed any of those things.
Well, I read a guide and it said, so there's a soul you get, I think it's the Imp. It says it creates an area of soul damage. It's like weird, and then you use it, and all it does, it makes the screen flash blue. You're like, what did that do? Well, what it did is it makes, for like 15 seconds, every time you hit an enemy, you damage their mana instead of their health.
Okay.
And the thing is for whatever reason, the golems, I guess because they're automatons created by magic, they die if they reach 0 mana.
That's
And
cool.
so the Iron Golem has 50 HP, and you only deal him 1 damage per hit, but he only has like 12 MP. So
okay.
use Imp, then hit him 12 times, leave the screen, come back, Imp, hit him 12 times, and just do that. It made it take less time. It still took like probably 30, 40 minutes.
So, Michael, I have to ask, why didn't you like this game?
No. I didn't not like the game.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. This is a great game. But I played Aria much more recently than any of the other times. Like, I usually space out playthroughs of Metroidvania games so that I don't get like burnt out on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always like, I would play Aria and then like a Metroid game and probably another Castlevania before I would play Dawn of Sorrow. And I was always like, oh, this is just about as good as Aria. And then when I played it this time, I was like, oh, well, this is like what's in Aria, but it's not as fun. And I don't know I don't know quite what it was. I mean, it was probably, doing the screen stuff. It was too early in the life cycle, like, because Nintendo stuff always relies on the gimmick of whatever their hardware is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so early in the lifespan of the DS that game came out that they had to work on it. Like, it's a little bit better in Portrait of Ruin, and then it's like actually good. Like, they figured it out in Order of Ecclesia to use, your spells and stuff. But it felt like a chore in this one. And everything was just like a little bit worse than Aria. So I was like, man, I could just be playing Aria right now, but I'm playing this one instead. And it felt like a bummer. Because the last time I played through Aria of Sorrow, I was like the thought popped into my head, is this as good as Symphony of the Night? It's not, but I had that thought. So it's surprisingly close. And while I was playing this, I was like, man, there are probably 6 other Metroid / Castlevania games I would rather be playing right now.
See, I played Aria of Sorrow about, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. It's on the show. I can't remember, but I know if I remember correctly, it's the old cast. So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
I actually heard that not too long ago at a toy swap, and that immediately, once you hear that song, you just can't stop. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, so I don't remember Aria of Sorrow at all, how I played or anything, and I didn't enjoy this game as much as I remember enjoying Aria of Sorrow, but again, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know why. I don't know why I was anti Souls in this game. It was weird. I just didn't want to use them for some reason. I didn't like them.
Yeah,
so
and I'm not one of these, the Castlevania game has to be hard type of guys. But
Neither am I.
when we did the Shadow Complex episode, I was like, I'm playing this and I'm like, man, this is so easy. And it was not what I was looking for. There is a balance. It has to be an amount of hard, but it doesn't have to be super hard. Like an original Castlevania game, but this one fell on the too easy scale for me. Aria, I think, is Symphony of the Night, Aria are right in the perfect difficulty wheelhouse as far as I'm concerned. And Order of Ecclesia is harder than those two, but doable. This one was I was just oh my God, I'm not having fun because I'm just plowing through this game, and I'm of course
I think that's fair. I I've played this and Aria back to back before, and I think that a lot of what it is, Aria is also very easy, but Aria is not as easy as this because you don't get quite as much of a steamroll build till basically almost the end of the game in Aria. Yeah. And I think the difference there is if you were to play the games side by side, you'd see that you reach that godlike power level in about the same amount of time. It's just that Aria is like half as long as this game because it's on the GBA.
Yeah, that's another thing. I have like a Metroidvania. Any Metroidvania I play has like a time that I'm playing it where I'm like, all right, this is too long. And this one,
you must hate Hollow Knight.
I can't stand Hollow Knight.
Oh gosh, Hollow Knight is one of my very top favorite video games. It's like right below Symphony of the Night for me in my like top 10 video games. But I get it because Hollow Knight is so long. I was replaying Hollow Knight a couple of months ago, and I was like, man, I don't remember this being this long. I'm like 15 hours in, and I'm still at like 70%.
Yeah,
that's kind of long. And this time, I took like 20 hours on this because I 100%ed it. But like my randomizer run, I'm almost done with, and I've only done like 6 hours. So it's still pretty short, I feel like. Yeah, but Aria is super short.
Yeah, 6 hours is like a good second playthrough. Like for me personally, I think like 10 hours for that first playthrough when you're like really exploring everything, and then like subsequent runs 3 to 7 hours.
Yeah,
like,
I see what you're saying.
Don't give me any more than that. But and there's a lot of Metroidvanias that overstay their welcome, and I wasn't having as much fun in this one, like to justify the amount of time that it took.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like in just like pure objective like things that's got in it, I feel like it has an edge on Aria, but I do go back and forth on whether I like this or Aria more because Aria is more of just a fun, compact little game. I can like fly through Aria in a few hours. Yep. Bam, that was fun. I enjoyed myself. This game is more of a project.
Yeah,
even though it's easier. But again, I don't really think necessarily that it's easier. I think they're both about as easy. It's just that by the time you get to how easy the game is, you're done with Aria. Whereas with this one, you're like halfway through by the point that you get to the point where you're just plowing through everything. Yeah. And then again, I mean, some of the later bosses, like Death is easy, but he's not. He's still pretty tough, decently tough. And
yeah, but
well, I guess I don't know. I don't know. He's not really.
Like the death fights kind of have to be perfect in these.
They have to be a certain minimum level of difficulty too. Yeah. And I think this one meets that minimum level of difficulty, but that's the hardest boss in the game. Nothing else in the game is real. Like every boss is really easy. The last boss is
if you play it right.
Yes. The last boss, I think if you don't know how to play, if you don't know the strategy for him, he would be kind of hard.
Yeah,
he kicked my ass.
Aria has the same thing. The last actual boss in Aria.
Yeah, it's Chaos, right?
Yeah.
It's Chaos in that one, and then it's something else in this one. Something dumb in this one.
That thing can be insane. But again, like you said, if you're playing it right, you get to that level too early in the game where you're like, all right, well, this is trivial. Like some of these, even the later bosses are like, okay, that took me 2 times to do.
I would have been okay with that. I like when a game is extra easy like that. And I never had this in this game because of my own stupidity, but so I didn't. It's just interesting. Like I hear, like now I understand why people call this game so easy. I'm like, no, this game is hard, guys. Like, but that makes sense because I was playing it completely wrong, and I got nothing.
From the sound of it, I don't think it was stupidity. I think it was hard-headedness on you.
Yeah, it was stupidity. I just didn't. I should have looked up like what spells people recommend because I tend not to. I have an issue with games where I tend not to use magic a lot. Like when I play RPGs, I try not to use magic except for healing. It's just how I play RPGs. Unless the game forces me to have to use abilities, like Paper Mario. I will try to avoid using abilities for some weird reason. I don't know what it is, but it's how I play our game. This was a game that wasn't a choice.
I did think of something else. One major mark against this, and you mentioned it already, is the touchpad stuff, and I highly recommend playing a patched ROM that patches that out.
That's what I did on the computer. I had a patch.
Yeah, that's not what I did this time, but the randomizer. The randomizer for this is really good. By the way, it's a randomizer for this, and I think also it's for all the DS ones. It's like one randomizer program, or no, it's for 3 of them. I think it's for this, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia.
Okay.
And it gives you different settings for each one, and one of the settings in the randomizer is automatic pass or automatic draw all seals, and that greatly because. There's nothing good about that. Having to draw the seals is always annoying. And if you're ever in a really hard boss fight, which there's not really one, I guess, but, well, death, right? Death, if you are like fighting death and then you've got to draw the damn seal.
Yeah. And that seal is not a small one. If I'm remembering correctly.
It's the second biggest one.
Yeah, like 7 points.
Exactly. And you've got to memorize it.
Yeah, if you do it wrong, then you're still doing that boss fight. It's just annoying. It's annoying. It's just annoying. It doesn't add anything to the game. It's just annoying. Yeah.
What's the time? I mean, you probably had to use the touchscreen when you made your game. I mean, it probably was a thing with Nintendo, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, sure.
And this follows the this also, I just say is funny, the naming convention of DS games.
Man,
having the DS in it. I would say the Japanese title for this is so much better. It's like something Blue Cross of the Blue Moon.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's better. I mean, Dawn of Sorrow is fine too because it's a sequel to Aria of Sorrow. But
it also wasn't till you told me that I realized Dawn of Sorrow DS.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. Well, there's the 3DS Dream Drop the Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance,
which I'm going to be playing.
It's Dream Drop Distance DS.
The Resident Evil remake for DS also has, I forget what it is, but
Deadly Silence.
Deadly Silence. Yeah.
So annoying. I'm like, oh, come on.
There's a lot of them, and now that you know, now that people know about it, just look for it on. DS games.
There was one part in this game where I had to completely look up what to do because I could not figure it out on my own. Where you see the 3 like statues that have souls on them. I didn't. Mm-hmm. It took a lot. I had to look up and went, oh, okay, I have to use the soul, then it makes the barrier go away.
Yeah.
Well, there was a skeleton one early in the game, and I saw it, and I just like, what the fuck is this? And it wasn't until I found the 3 when it clicked. Oh, that's what I got to do. That's when it finally clicked.
One, and then there's the 3. It's like it's the axe, clown, and Yaku Baja or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't have that one. I had to go.
And that guy, it's annoying because that doorway is up in the I think it's in the Demon Guest House.
Yep, it's in Demon Guest.
And that Yakugaba guy or whatever is only in the Silence Ruins.
Yeah, it's far away.
And so it's which if you're looking at the map, that is the opposite corner of the map, basically. And it's very annoying. What you think that's annoying? Now think about playing on a randomizer.
Oh,
right?
Jesus!
I'm playing on the randomizer. I got there and I was like, all right, I think I've got the axe soul. I went and did that. All right, I've got the clown soul. All right, I don't remember what this damn guy's name is again, but I know where I saw one earlier, so I'm gonna go fight him and see what his name is real fast. Okay, it's that. Okay, well I don't have that. Killing him doesn't give me that though. And so I'm just like, all right, well I'm just not going through that door until I randomly come across an enemy that has that soul.
But they were the right statues.
Yes, they're the right ones. They're
okay,
the right statues, but you've got to find the soul.
That would have made me turn it off if I was playing a randomizer and it had 3 random souls that you needed to open the door.
Gosh. Oh, that would be even worse. Yeah. No, I just actually was just playing and I randomly killed a enemy. I think it was like some like random ass enemy that I don't see very often, like a skeleton farmer or something. And he dropped that soul. And I was like, oh, okay, there you go. And then I backtracked all the way back there to go in there. But it also randomizes what's behind the doors and stuff. And behind that door was just like an ice cream. Son of a bitch.
Skeleton.
Yeah, randomizers are a lot of fun. If you love Aria of Sorrow, play an Aria of Sorrow randomizer. It really adds a great fun to the game. I did an Aria of Sorrow randomizer a few months ago.
Like the only reason this game was even on the podcast was because somebody, I think 6 months ago on Overblood, I watched the entire Overblood Super Replay group, had said, yeah, there's a patched ROM of this that takes out the touchscreen. I'm like, and that's what sold me on this because I wasn't going to play it until that was done.
I wish that I had played with that on my first playthrough, but I don't, because I wanted to play the actual game so I could give like legit feedback because otherwise I'd be like, oh, I didn't really find it that annoying.
Yeah.
It's very annoying. I hated it. It was actually in the death fight. I drew it wrong like twice.
Yeah.
So I had to. I think I think I might have actually. No, I still did it in the first try, but it still took. Yeah, it was very annoying.
I also don't have the stylus that came with the DS. I have 2 giant Zelda styluses.
You can do them with just your finger. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if you have like a fingernail.
I just hate touchscine gimmick. That's why I've stayed away from the DS for so long, because you can't. Well, one, you can't emulate it really well.
Yeah, I mean you can. You can emulate it. You can do it pretty well.
I'm learning now, and now that I can just
like it's not great on handheld. I don't really do DS on like my Vita because it's just not. There's no real good solution for it for most games. But like I'll do DS on my PC, and it's fine. You have like it's just like side by side, or if it's something where you don't need the bottom screen much, then you just like have the bottom screen as like a little window on the side. There's DSMU, I think is what it is. That one has like some pretty good options for moving around the screens and stuff. I think I played through like one of the DS Pokemon games that way, and it was fine.
Now that I can have a DS, I'm gonna probably now I'm more interested in going back. There's so much of the DS library I've never touched.
See, I'm a big DS fan. I'm a big DS and 3DS fan. I like the 2-screen thing a lot. I mean, I love the Wii U also. I don't like the gimmick stuff, but I like little things like playing this game. Did you realize you can hit select and it changes what's on the top screen?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So if you press if you press select, so when default the top screen is the map, which is
right, I did. Right? Okay, I figured this out where it changes to show you what enemies you killed and stuff.
Right. Well, yes. So what it tells you what enemy you killed. It tells you what they drop once you've had it drop, and it tells you whether or not you've gotten their soul yet.
Okay, I did find that out.
So if you're doing a soul completion thing, or even playing through the randomizer, it's not so much soul completion. It's like I don't have double jump, so I've got to kill like every single enemy I find and get every soul I find because one of them is going to drop double jump. Yeah, I actually just got double jump a few minutes before we started recording. I was like, finally. Not having double jump was so annoying. But then I got double jump, and then like 30 seconds later, I got the space jump, that L1 thing that just lets you fly. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. Thankfully, I got Alucard's bat form as a soul because the randomizer takes in all the souls from Julius mode, all the powers from Julius mode, and makes them souls, which is pretty neat. So like I have like holy water and like crosses and stuff from Julius, and I have Alucard's. I got Alucard's bat form like 5 minutes into the run, so I've been able to go everywhere very slowly. I still haven't gotten the Bat Company soul, so I have to, but still, I got Alucard's bat form, like 5 minutes in. So I've been able to go everywhere just very, very slowly.
I love the DS that had, like, the fact that I have the map, like, there.
Yes,
accessible at all times is, like, one of the saving graces of that thing. Because, man, what a convenience to not have to pause to look at the map every time you're looking for a room.
That is great. That is
it was nice
in his favor.
And can I just say, you talked about, I don't normally talk about it because it's very stupid, but you brought up the skeleton farmer, which I think is the best enemy in a Castlevania game.
He's so funny.
How silly is a skeleton with like a hat and gloves? Like that's
he's got a little sun hat and some overalls.
It's so funny that he exists.
Yes, and his soul is such a niche thing, and I just want to do like a build using his soul, like try to make it good. His soul increases the power of plant-based abilities.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's really a like for this like game that for the most part takes itself very seriously. Like these Castlevania games do not screw around. They're not like throwing goofy shit in there, except for this one enemy.
Yeah, they've got a couple of goofy things, but yeah, he's the goofiest goof. I love him. You know, enemy is super annoying. I don't remember what they're called. They're a variation of the devils. That fly down and grab a hold of your head and make you just sit there and use up all your mana.
Oh yeah, those are annoying.
Attack. God, those are annoying. I could not. You just have to shake them off. and it sucks because there's like one area where there's two of them, and they'll just sit there and trade on you until you've run out of mana, and it's so annoying. Especially in Julius mode where you have no way to refill your mana. Well, I guess no. In Julius mode, the mana comes back. It's the health that doesn't come back. But yeah, it's very annoying getting like stun locked by those guys. I hated them. And there's really again in Julius mode when you're playing at the whip, there's no good way to hit them either, other than like axes, I guess.
There's no diagonal whip.
Not up. No. Oh. You can do you can do the loose whip. You know, they started Castlevania 4. You know, you could do that where you sit there like jiggle your whip around. But if I can whipping in directions.
If I can put a hot take out there, Super Castlevania 4 is maybe the worst Castlevania game.
Yeah,
Bloodlines on the Genesis was so much better.
That's a really good game.
Yeah, Bloodlines is great. I don't think Castlevania 4 is bad. It's not my favorite. I'm not as big a Classicvania fan anyway. My favorite
I'm not either.
Is
I'm only
Rondo of Blood. The specifically the PSP remake of Rondo of Blood. That
PSP remake of Rondo of Blood is excellent, and it has Symphony of the Night on there.
It does. So that's actually how I first played Symphony of the Night.
That's amazing.
I got Dracula. I got a PSP and Dracula X Chronicles in 2017. Yep. And then I beat Rondo of Blood and unlocked Symphony of the Night, and then played through all of Symphony of the Night that way. And then now I've played through Symphony of the Night so many times. I do a randomizer run of Symphony of the Night about once every 3 months or so.
Yeah. What an amazing, I can't imagine playing Rondo of Blood and then unlocking Symphony of the Night and going, oh, I wonder what this is. And then
I knew
getting to play.
That was why I bought it, but yes.
Okay.
So
and then
that would be amazing though.
But you know that some people did that, and it's like, wow. Can you imagine
what a surprise you're in for?
Discovering Symphony of the Night by accident?
And for our fans that don't know, in Japan, Symphony of the Night is a direct sequel to Rondo of Blood, which didn't come out in the US until the PSP remake.
We got what did we get for SNES?
We got a game called Rondo of Blood. It was called Rondo of Blood, I think, but it's not at all the same game.
No, it's called something else. I think it's called Dracula X or something like that.
Oh, it is called Dracula X. I'm sorry.
It's really. I've never played it because I'm really bad at Classicvania.
Yeah, so the thing is the original Castlevania Rondo of Blood, the Japanese title is Akamajo Dracula X Shino Rondo, which Akamajo Dracula is what the Castlevania. It's Demon Dracula or Demon Castle Dracula, right? But so it's X. The X is there. So then the Super Nintendo just. Abominable Super Nintendo. Well, I don't know how bad it is actually. I think it's in the. I think it is in the Dracula X, the PSP game.
Oh, that's cool. They included it. I mean, it's a different game for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or not though. I've heard that it's bad, but I don't want to say it's bad. But it's called Dracula X because the Japanese is called Dracula X. So
I don't think I got all the way through Dracula X. I don't remember, but I do remember not enjoying it, so I never went back to it.
That's fair.
And then I didn't even realize that Rondo of Blood was that game when I played it, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, they have
Dracula
the same,
X
they have
was
the same
supposed
cover,
to be
actually.
that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the same cover. Interestingly, this original one is the same as the image, exactly the same art and everything.
It was a very long time in between plays of those games.
Yeah. And I was wrong, by the way. The Dracula X Chronicles on PSP, which came out in 2007, has the original MSX. Not MSX. PC Engine, Rondo of Blood, and then Symphony of the Night. Those are the two unlockables.
That's cool. That's a nice package.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that game, if you've never played that, by the way,
I haven't.
PSP emulation is perfect on PC. PC emulates PSP absolutely perfectly.
I'm sure my Steam Deck would have no problem.
Or your Steam Deck will do it. Yeah, play Dracula X Chronicles because Rondo of Blood is a really it's a real shame we didn't get it in the US. It was for the PC Engine Super CD, which here was the TurboGrafx 16 Super CD. Is that what they called it? The CD add-on in America?
I'm not
Nobody
good when it comes
knows
to that.
because nobody had one.
Right, exactly. Nobody had one, so that's why we didn't get it. But it's a really good game. It's beautiful. Even the original one is really good, though I've only played it on the Dracula X Chronicles.
What I gotta say also about like Dawn of Sorrow is that this game still looks really
Oh yeah,
good.
sorry. Oh yeah.
Oh
it
yeah,
does.
we are talking about
It is very.
Dawn of
It's a
hasn't
very
aged
pretty
bad.
game.
Like for the graphics are all good. I know one of the complaints that people were talking about, which I forgot about until I was posting questions, which I got a few. People were bitching about the anime style. Like there's an anime cutscene in the opening, and I guess when you see their faces talk, they're kind of anime-ish, but they're fine.
Yeah, they're
I
fine.
like that anime cutscene in the beginning.
Yeah,
Same.
I really like those sort of pixely anime like faces and the cutscenes.
They're fine.
I think it looks like for a DS game, that looks fucking fantastic.
It really does.
People were upset they didn't go back to the original stuff that they had.
It looks really good. The music is
GBA
great.
ones.
The music is great too.
Oh yeah.
Which if I'm remembering correctly, I'm not a big music file. But I feel like was it
Me neither.
Aria that the music is like single channel and doesn't sound as good? Was that what is that a thing?
Well,
music.
yeah, because
I can't
it's on the Game Boy Advance. So
Right, and so people would like
everything.
it. But this one has got the multi-channel audio, so it sounds as good as it sounds as good as Symphony of the Night. It's different music, but it's not all different music. A lot of it is the same music too.
Yeah, the music is great. I mean, I would put the Sorrow music up there with like Symphony of the Night and Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Don't sleep on the music
Great
on
music.
that
That's
one.
where Bloody Tears came from.
It's amazing.
One of my like go-to, like when I play music for my students as they're coming in, one of my go-tos is this like rock and roll like violin version of violin and electric guitar version of Bloody Tears. No, Castlevania 2's got great music.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, in Julius mode, they changed the background music for a couple of the levels, and one of them is a remix of Bloody Tears.
Oh, nice.
When you're in the dark,
cool.
when you're in the dark chapel area, it's a remix of Bloody Tears.
Damn it! I can't believe you're making me play this game again.
Yeah, it changes the opening area, the Lost Village. It changes the music to a remix of Beginning from Dracula's Curse.
I'm curious to try this game at some point down the road again, but this time actually look up what souls to use and not play like an idiot. So we'll see.
And definitely play Julius mode. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to beat it. But
No way. I'm too much of I don't like hard games unless I can cheat.
Yeah,
So,
it's really funny what it reminded me of because I play everything out of order. I played Curse of the Moon. Is that what it is?
Yep.
The one, yeah. So
Circle of Moon.
Circle
and
of
Curse
Moon.
of Darkness.
No. I'm talking about there's
PS2?
Ritual, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
So Ritual of the Night is the one that's basically this game amped up.
Yes.
Right.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night rules.
It does.
That has a
love it.
really good randomizer in it too. If you're into
It
randomizers,
It does. It has a great randomizer. It has multiple different modes where you can play as different characters from the game, and they keep adding more. It's awesome.
I was thrilled. I was thrilled to see that they added Aurora from Child of Light.
And I played through that, and it is so much fun. And it got me to go buy Child of Light.
It's so good. Child of Light is great.
Yeah, Child of Light is great, and yeah, Aurora mode and Bloodstained is awesome.
Yeah.
So that game, remember, was a Kickstarter, and one of the stretch goals was a 3DS game called Curse of the Moon. This on multiple platforms. It's not just on 3DS.
On PC.
And that Curse of the Moon is basically an amped up version of Castlevania 3.
Yeah.
So I played Curse of the Moon first, then I played Castlevania 3, and I was like, oh, this is just like Curse of the Moon. But anyway.
There is a second 8-bit
There is
Bloodstained.
Curse of the Moon 2, or it's Curse of the Moon 2, yeah.
That one's not as good as the first one, but it's still worth a playthrough.
It's harder to me.
It's really way harder.
It's so hard.
Sure.
Like Curse of the Moon is hard. It's one of the hardest. It's the hardest like Castlevania game I've played, probably other than the original, probably.
Yeah.
That makes me not want to do it for the show. So.
Yeah, it is very hard. Curse of the Moon is very hard. Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 3, it's not that bad to me.
No.
But the original Castlevania is still to this day kicks my ass. Like
the Dracula
I've
fight
got
in that one is.
Yeah, I've never gotten that far.
Yeah, maybe too hard.
I had that game as a kid. I got that game when I was like 10, or no, I was like 8 or 9, and I played it all through childhood. into adulthood and never saw the third level until a couple of years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
I could
That's fair.
could not beat, or no, the fourth level. I never saw the fourth level till now. I almost beat it not that long ago not by save scumming, but by saving at the end of each level.
Yep.
Which I think is completely legit.
I think that's fine. That Castlevania.
I'm not going to try to beat this game on one credit anymore.
That the Castlevania collection is really good for that.
It is. Yeah, that's how I finally got to see like the fifth area, the fourth and fifth area.
Yeah, that Dracula fight is insane in one.
The whole game is insane, but
yeah.
But this game, Julius mode is a lot of fun. And if you like Castlevania 3, you'll like Julius mode in this.
And Mike, if you're going to play through this again with Souls, I would suggest doing it soon while you're familiar with the map.
Oh, yeah.
Because I won't be anytime. I actually have a printed map. I have a weird thing where every time I play a Castlevania game or any Metroidvania, I go to FedEx where I used to work. I print out a map and I laminate it every time. This time I didn't even use it. It's actually underneath my couch because it fell. I've been too lazy to pick it up.
That's
okay.
I always get a map printed out as like my trophy for each game.
Yeah,
and then I put it in a pile.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to do it now. Get those souls, blast through it, and be like, yeah, I can't
go back to a game this quickly. I have to let it sit for a while. Especially a game like this. I didn't have a great time with it. I mean, I played it. I beat it. I enjoyed parts of it, but I really didn't this was not really fun for me. And again, it's my fault. But
I was just talking about Souls. What really feels a lot of fun in this is when you get the Black Panther soul running around. I
never got that one.
Running
Does
around.
It double your attack power?
No, Black Panther soul makes you fly across the freaking screen. It makes you go super fast. Oh no, sorry.
You didn't get the
Marvel
joke?
Snap. Marvel Snap.
Sorry. I was like, God damn it!
I had to think about it. It just makes you just run super fast. And you can double jump, and you'll just float across the screen, basically like Mario, like you're playing Mario.
I think I've seen it. I'm watching the speed run, and they're using it.
It's like the P-wing in Mario 3, basically.
Yeah,
they're using it constantly.
Awesome. Yeah.
I thought we were going to get. We're almost an hour into this recording. I thought we were going to get through an entire episode without a Marvel Snap reference.
I do sometimes. I didn't mean to. It wasn't planned. It just he said Black Panther, and that's what came to my head. So, hey. But I mean, I still had fun. The game is still it's still a very cool Castlevania game. It's a cool Metroidvania. It just I don't know what it was with me. Because I played Portrait of Ruin, and I know I used spells in there. I didn't do I don't know what it was with me. Why I didn't want to use souls in this playthrough. I don't understand why I was being so weird about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not normal for me.
No, it's
because that's the fun of the game. Is
yeah, I know. That's why I don't understand why I was just
there's special I think I told you there's special secret soul synergies, which I looked up and is Bat Company plus Fire Demon lets you shoot fireballs in bat form and things like that. It's pretty neat stuff.
Well, it's a very cool game. It has some really cool stuff. The boss fights I thought were really good. There's a one in the tower where you fight this thing and then you break all the towers that you've just been climbing all the floors. There's some really cool shit in this game.
Yeah, there's definitely cool shit, but it's too far in between the cool shit to really get you like a really good. I don't know. I think Metroid is much better at doling out the cool set stuff better than the Castlevania games. Because in Metroid, it's boom, 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 boom. You're getting this cool thing, this cool thing, this cool thing. There's 2 Castlevania games that give you that hit of endorphin in the amount of time that I need it.
That's fair.
But yeah, still a great game. But yeah, man.
I do like that this game also has 3 endings to it. You have I got the first ending by accident, the first fake ending where you fight because the whole story is that these 2 guys were born on the same day as Dracula. Dracula died just like you were, and so they think they could be the Dark Lord, and you're taken here and tricked and you're fighting them, and you think you kill one earlier than the second one. When you fight him, if you don't use the way you're supposed to beat him and just kill him, you just get a bad ending where it's oh, that's weird. And then you just leave with a la carte.
Right, which it has also in Symphony of the Night and also in Aria of Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, and then the other ending is when you go into it after that fight, you have to go inside the mirror and kill a boss. Which for some reason that boss really reminded me of a Bloodborne boss, the fire guy in the DLC.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but I can't think of his name. But that's what it reminded me of when I first saw
Ludwig.
It. Yes.
Yeah, I don't see the.
Yeah,
I don't know why. That's just what came.
I was like, how is he like? You're talking about Igni.
Maybe not Ludwig, but it's some fire boss, some fire demon in the DLC in Bloodborne. It's been a while.
Ludwig is the only fire-based DLC.
Maybe it is Ludwig,
boss.
and I just don't. I don't.
I was gonna say it's like he kind of is similar to like similar to like Ceaseless Discharge from Dark Souls, but
I don't know. It doesn't. I'm
anyway,
not.
Okay.
Doesn't make
right,
sense.
So then you
where my brain went. But like it was it's interesting how you go there, then you beat him, and then after you do that correctly, then you open another door. But if you don't put on a certain item, which I think at least the game is nice about it, the game shows you an ending where your main character Soma essentially becomes Dracula because he sees his girlfriend killed in front of him.
Right.
Even though it's not his girlfriend, it's a clone or a duplicate, whatever the hell it was. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a succubus pretending to be her.
Okay.
And after that point, I think that's what it was, right?
They just say it's a clone or
I think they say it's a clone. This does have very many anime, like the story beats are more anime. I think that might be what people are talking about rather than.
I guess, but I mean that's the same as
Symphony
of the Night. Symphony of the Night has like the exact same scene, like where where you go to the succubus's room and she tricks you into thinking she's your mom.
Yeah.
Crucified.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar.
Yeah.
And then she turns, and I was thinking it is succubus because when you fight the succubi in the pinnacle, they look like Yoko until you hit them.
Maybe that's what they're going for, but it at least the game tells you, because that's how you unlock Julius mode, and then it says, maybe you should equip that talisman that Mia gave you.
Yeah.
So at least the game's nice to be like, here's the correct way to do it.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, it's cool that it's there. I mean,
I got that ending on accident this time. I forgot to put on the pendant, and I was like, "Oh yeah, forgot."
I didn't look it up. I just went in the room, went, "Oh, okay." I just knew there were two bad endings, but it is cool when he does that and he becomes Dracula essentially right then and there, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm going to murder you too, and fuck this world." Like that was cool.
Yeah, and then that's why when you in Julius mode, that unlocks Julius mode, like you said, and then in Julius mode, he is the final boss. So,
which honestly kind of can make sense in a bit.
Yeah. Which also, by the way, awesome boss fight.
It looked cool when I watched it.
Oh yeah, I think I posted a YouTube short of it, didn't I?
You did. I looked at YouTube also.
Yeah. Soma Cruz is a really good boss, really good final boss.
It was just
very,
cool.
very hard too. It took me.
It makes sense too to have that happen where he does become, because he is Dracula. Like I also would love to see a sequel and like I would love to see Castlevania games come out in general and just continue the timeline, but that's not happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, do like alternate, do like is it what Dragon Quest Builders is taking place in the world where if at the end of Dragon Quest you had joined the Dragon Lord or whatever, the Dark Lord or whatever.
I think so. I just wouldn't mind more. Like I just want more.
Like that. Yeah, alternate history where Soma became the Dark Lord.
I also want the Castlevania where you play as Julius when he kills Dracula in 1999, but we're never getting that. So.
Oh yeah, well maybe it's a pachinko machine.
Oh God,
that's where you reuse assets.
I don't know, because Konami has been doing really well with these collections. Maybe it'll convince them to make an actual game.
I want to see a DX collection because there's so many people that have never played Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait, Ruin, or Order because of the fact that they're locked to the DS.
Our chance to get a DS collection would have been when the 3DS was still a thing.
I mean, you could patch
unless the Super Switch has a second screen. We'll see.
You could patch out the stuff and make it work.
They did do that with a couple of games. Wasn't what the hell was that annoying game called that everybody freaked out over, but I couldn't stand. Yeah, that's the one.
I knew that's what you had to be talking about. That's a game I've always wanted to play, but then I've just never wanted to play it enough to buy it. So, but I was like, I have a feeling he wouldn't like this.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's a little bit too anime for me.
Yeah, I do actually. I like anime in general, but I also have a kind of an anime like tolerance level.
Yep.
That can be overrun, and yeah, it looked a little. Kingdom Hearts is a little too anime for me, so.
Kingdom Hearts is way too anime.
I understand. I'm actually going through right now and covering that whole series, so I
know. Yeah, I saw. I was
It's
like,
a series.
I was like, hey, that's good. I'm not going to be on any of those episodes.
Nope, me neither.
I fucking hate.
I got my team. You guys good.
I'm happy that Kingdom Hearts exists. Just for like how funny I think it is to see like Goofy talking about the apocalypse and stuff and cutscenes and all that. And I'm happy for people that have it. I played a little bit of. I played Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, but that's also like you picked up a book and you went to the 5th chapter, and there were 2 other books before this, and you had no fucking idea what's going on. That's why. It's already a confusing story. It's not one of those games.
The story though is the problem.
Yeah, the gameplay in those games is not good. If you grew up playing them, it's fine. But if you just pick one up and you're used to even like action games or action RPGs, the gameplay in those games is terrible. Like all the way up till 3, it's bad.
I just got done beating. Speaking of DS games, I just beat 358 by 2 days yesterday, so I can't say too much. On legit hardware.
Didn't it say that you were on like the 353rd day on your final save screen?
No, that was I might have uploaded the wrong one, but it's.
Oh, okay.
It also might have not been 358 day because it might have been that because in the game you like any many games you get to the you're done.
Oh, okay.
No point.
I was like, wait, that's not fair. It's called 358 days. So I say it's day 353.
If you understand what's happening, the title makes complete sense, and that's sad, but it does to me. I'm not going to go into it.
I'll have to listen and find out.
But no, I mean, this game also opened me up to playing more DS games. Like now that I have, that cart and I got it working, play other DS games. Like I also want to play.
And to anyone listening, listen, if you have any kind of moral qualms about piracy, fuck it, because Nintendo doesn't want you to play. Doesn't give a shit about trying to sell you these games anymore. They won't sell them. They closed the damn eShop for the 3DS. Pirate away.
If you have a problem with piracy, like honestly, rethink your life, because these companies do not give a shit about you. Steal their shit. Who cares?
I'm not going to steal anything like new. I'm not going to steal anything that there's a legitimate, realistic, not outrageous way to buy it. But like anything like this, no. And trust me, I mean, if they put out a DS collection, I'll buy it anyway. But until they do, I'm going to enjoy my R4 card and play these games.
Like example, I bought the Advanced Collection. I have no plan to actually play the Advanced Collection when I play those games. I might, but I'm probably just going to save state. But I wanted to support Konami for making it. I mean, yes, I did wait for sale. I want
to convince Konami to put out more. I want to do my part to get them to put out more of these collections.
The collections do have save states in them, so
they do.
Okay, then I'm
rewind also, don't they?
Yep.
For example, this game in box, complete in box, is $100 for Dawn of Sorrow on eBay at the time of this recording, 8/6/20.
Do I have this in the drawer behind me?
That is kind of. Okay, and somebody's listening for 45. That's probably not legit.
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too much for this game.
But like, just for example, like that. Okay, this has to be not legit. It says brand new Portrait of Ruin. Order Dawn of Sorrow for $20. Buy it now from China. Yeah,
those are bootleg carts.
Yeah, that's for sure not real.
No, there's no way those are real.
If they work.
I'm sure they work. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, if the games
I've got it loose. I don't see my case. I think it's legit. I think I'd probably throw away the case. I'm not a collector type.
Yeah,
I feel dumb about that now. I'm
games.
I'm digging through my games right now. I'm like, I see the loose cart. I don't see the case. So I guess I don't have it.
DS games I have to keep the cases for because I have lost too many games because they're so small.
Nowhere does it say.
I have a holder. I have like a little DS cart holder.
I lose them even out of that.
Oh, you guys will like this one from the same. I think it's the same buyer, but for that's $20 each. I was gonna say I thought the whole pack of all the DS Pokemon games were $20. I'm like, well, that's definitely not real.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not legit.
Okay, yeah, $20
sorry,
each.
I'm coming back
one.
over to my desk. Sorry.
You're
good. Yeah. So I mean, that can't. There's no way that's legit copy.
No, those are bootleg for.
Oh yeah, you can even tell. You look at the cartridge, and the label isn't on like the way it should be.
The laziness.
Fantastic.
But no, I mean, that's the other thing, like-
So I bought an R4 card on Amazon. I think it was $15. Came with like 1,000 games on it. That's too many. I deleted a bunch.
I deleted all of them.
And then you can put your own on there. It's really easy.
I mean, it's worth it. Like I have a 3DS. I bought a 3DS like 6 years ago or so when I worked at FedEx. I bought it off a buddy of mine, and I've been wanting to play DS games. And I was like, okay. And I got through a phase where I wanted to buy all the Castlevania games. Like I wanted to buy this, but I want to complete in box like an idiot, and I was cheap, so that didn't work out very well. And I just didn't play them. And now that I have a way to just load up any DS game I want and just experience it, I'm now going to finally try to like play a lot of DS games that I've skipped over, because that's a library I completely missed. And now I can say I played Dawn of Sorrow. I mean, I didn't play it that way, but it was because of that I actually made myself play it. It just
exactly.
I wish I would put the pre-patch ROM on instead, because that would have been better.
By the way, I was looking. I actually bought one that will work in that will do 3DS also, and it was $30 because it does DS and 3DS.
You got my attention, sir.
Yeah,
have my attention.
And it also has a GBA emulator and an NES emulator, and so you can do GBA and NES also.
Have my
So I actually played a little bit of Aria of Sorrow on it just to test it out. So
yeah, the Game Boy Advance, man, that I think has the best games on it that maybe Nintendo ever put out. I hate to say it,
including remakes and stuff. Yeah, I mean, or ports, because I mean, Super Nintendo is still to this day my favorite system. But yeah, GBA has most of the best Super Nintendo games.
Most of the best Super Nintendo games. It has Zero Mission, Metroid Zero Mission, and Fusion.
Yeah,
are amazing games. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
One of those is, yes.
The surprisingly fantastic port of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yes, yeah, I have that.
How did they put that on the anyway?
It's actually fun that way. It's similar to kind of like today's like game like Ollie Ollie World. It has like a similar control scheme.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So looking at the Castlevania ones, Circle of the Moon, I like a lot. Harmony of Dissonance, I'm not a big fan. I hate the way it looks. I know it looks that way because of the lack of backlight. Yeah. People complain that you couldn't see anything in Circle of the Moon, so they made Harmony of Dissonance like glowing neon.
I want to play it again.
It's like, it's not. I'm trying. I started playing it on the Castlevania Advanced Collection, and I was just like, man, this is just ugly. So ugly. It's like it's hard to justify. And it's also zoomed in. It has the same problem that Samus Returns had on the Game Boy.
Yep.
Is it Samus or Return of Samus? Return of Samus.
Return of Samus is the original Game Boy.
The original. Yeah, the original one is the one I like the 3DS remake, the Samus.
Good game.
Yeah, the Return of Samus remake is fantastic.
Yeah, the Return of Samus though, the original Metroid 2 is so zoomed in, makes Samus so big on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's still, I think it's a great game, and it's an important game.
Yes, and it's like it looks really good for a Game Boy game, but
it looks amazing for a Game Boy game. But the big, you need to be more zoomed out in a Metroid.
Yeah,
game.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's my problem with Harmony of Dissonance. You're zoomed in too much. You're zoomed in too much, and you're glowing.
Yeah, totally see that.
I played it once.
The music also. The music.
I want to go back.
But Aria, yeah, I go back and forth on what. And I feel like Dawn of Sorrow with a few tweaks could be better than Aria. But I think I would go back and forth. I think I'd go back on what I said. I think Aria is better.
Aria's better.
It's just like it hit exactly how you want it to hit.
I think Dawn of Sorrow make it a little harder and get rid of the touchscreen stuff, and I would like it.
Well, hey, pre-patch the ROM and play like me. It's a lot harder. We don't use souls.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you can with those randomizers, you don't have to make it random. You can do other things to it, and you can make it harder. You can increase enemy health, decrease your damage. You can do things like that. So you could make it harder, actually. That I really recommend checking out that randomizer tool for these DS games, because it has a lot of fun, a lot of stuff you can tweak.
Yeah, that's for some people. I mean, I'm glad that exists. Like, I'm glad that somebody told me about the pre-patch ROM, so I could just. Yeah. So it finally got me to play this game, because I was like, I don't want to draw on a mouse. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to draw the seals on a mouse. Like that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah.
And the pre-patch ROM was nice and simple, and I got my flash card, and you can buy those flash cards on Amazon for people too that are like, I don't know, like it's right on Amazon. Like it's not and Nintendo ain't shutting them down, so
they will. They'll figure it out.
Okay, try. I'm sure. I mean, it's been around for years.
That was the R4 cards were like a real problem for them in Japan for a long time. They got like super hardcore about it.
I mean,
they're all over the place on Amazon, and it's like I said, it's $30 for one that will do 3DS and DS.
Link to that, Kerry. But once a system is dead, like I will not pirate a Switch game for the life of me right now because that's not. To me, that's like no. It's I can go buy it for reasonable price, Nintendo. But like I can go buy it, so I don't. Like I would never touch that. But when it comes to something like
what I gladly pirate is I gladly pirate the 3D All-Stars game that they don't sell anymore.
Well, that's different. But like
that's different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they're willing to sell it to me at a reasonable price, then I'll buy it.
Never reasonable with Nintendo, but yes.
Well, I mean, these advanced collections and stuff are reasonable.
I'm still mad that when I went to, I need to go buy Breath of the Wild for Switch because I'm doing it on the show later on for our anniversary, and
it's
like
still $60.
I cannot
and I'm just like
fucking believe how expensive that game is.
And it bothers me. I'm like, this game is 6 years old or more than that even. Like, just drop the fucking price.
I'm just gonna say it's my favorite video game.
No, I mean I know it's great, but like at least just make it 40. 40 is the regular price at this point. Like, just put it at 40 and say, okay, it's a $40 game now, new, and for sale, maybe I'll get it for 30 or 20, and I'm happy with that. But like, it just pisses me off.
Well, let me know when you play it because it's like I said, it's my favorite video.
Oh, you're already on the list, so don't worry about that.
And if you want a dissenting opinion, I'll be on that one as well.
I got my own dissenting opinion, I'm sure. Yeah, that's my plan for the 5-year anniversary of the show. Do Breath of the Wild finally.
Nice.
That's gonna be fun trying to play for that game in 2 weeks.
I just got back to playing Tears of the Kingdom a few days ago after taking like a month-long break off from it.
Or anything else you guys want to say about Dawn of Sorrow before we go on to questions, comments, or memories?
Dawn of Sorrow, definitely worth checking out if you can get it for free. It really is a good game. It really, really is. No matter what I've said about it today, it's still a really good game. It's just there's better Castlevania options.
Hey, you can buy it for $20 on eBay, and I'm sure that's a legit copy coming brand new from China. I'm sure it's legit.
Get that bootleg copy. It's worth $20.
Pirate it since Nintendo doesn't want to sell it to you.
Yeah,
and enjoy it. It's a great game.
Well, buying it for essentially pirating it, I'm pretty sure. So
I do think Ritual of the Night's better, but that's to be expected.
Symphony of the Night, you mean?
No, Ritual of the Night. I mean, yes,
Bloodlines. Yes. No, you're right. 100%.
Let's say Ritual of the Night is like Iga's like, y'all liked all those other games I made. All right, well, here we go.
We ever get a Bloodstain 2? I wonder.
I sure hope so.
That
was a great game.
Really great game.
They're keeping it in people's minds. They just, not that long ago, did a tie-in with Blasphemous. That's probably a year ago now. But,
oh, wow.
Yeah, they did a free DLC tie-in with Blasphemous.
Okay.
Where you get, I think you can summon your character.
I need to play Blasphemous.
Summon. Yeah.
I have it.
If you don't like hard games,
I do not.
You are not going to like Blasphemous.
Yeah, there are no save states on that one either.
It is rough.
Can I level up though?
Yes.
Then I can get through it. I beat Hollow Knight. There were no save states Hollow Knight either, so
yeah.
Blasphemous is harder than Hollow Knight.
I haven't beaten it. I started it, and I'm a big Dark Souls fan, as you know.
All right, so never be on the show.
And I was like, yeah. This is harder than Dark Souls. This is a lot harder than Dark Souls. It's a lot harder than. It's so much harder than any Dark Souls game ever thought about being.
Okay, so note to self: don't ever bother playing it. All right, thank you.
Yeah. It's brutal Dark Souls meets Symphony of the Night. It's like Castlevania.
Yeah, I'm good then.
Yeah, it's fantastic, but
I thought Salt and Sanctuary. I thought Salt and Sanctuary was hard. Salt and Sanctuary is the Dark Souls Castlevania game, and then Blasphemous is the Dark Souls.
Yes, Salt and Sanctuary I think is way better balanced. Salt and Sanctuary, Salt and Sacrifice is very good too, but Salt and Sanctuary I think is right? Yes.
I bought that. I haven't played it yet. I played through the original. I played through Salt Salt and Sanctuary. I liked it a lot, but it was very hard.
Yeah, I think you'll like Salt and Sacrifice. It's also very good. Like more systems, but it has like a cool thing where like bosses sort of chase you around, like almost Mr. X in the Resident Evil 2 remake.
That doesn't make me excited. That makes me never want to play it.
Oh, it's so.
I don't like being chased.
Surprise,
it's so good.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's do this comments. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I keep getting us off track.
No, it's fine. I have from the Castlevania Dungeon group. I got from Michael Hancock. Symphony Night through Order of Ecclesia were all fantastic games. I'd love to see a DS collection. If I had to pick a favorite in a lot besides Symphony Night, it would be Portrait of Ruin. I enjoyed being able to level up sub skills.
Wow.
Colby, how do you feel about that? I know you're a big fan of Portrait of Ruin, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I zoned out.
Like Portrait of Ruin, I thought that was a joke for me.
Portrait of Ruin as the best DS game. You're gonna have to once again rethink your life, my guy. That's the worst one of those. Replay Order of Ecclesia and then get back to us. Let us know.
I need to check out this Portrait of Ruin. I've never played it.
I like it. So I've been meaning to do it on the show for a while. It wasn't on the show for reasons I'm not going to say on here. But it's going to be on the show now sooner. Probably the next one I do it, especially now that I found people that are up for it.
It looks like the default mode in that is kind of similar to Julius mode. You have like the two characters and you switch between them.
Yeah, but you also level up and can heal and stuff.
Yeah, and
interesting.
It's true user.
I disagree. But I beat that game legit, actually. So, okay, from Aldo Herrera, the NDS trilogy is some of the best games in the series. If you enjoy Dawn of Sorrow, I highly recommend you check Portrait of Ruin and Order of Ecclesia. Both of them I personally like better than Dawn of Sorrow. I played Portrait of Ruin once. Beat it. All right. Trevor Hoshkin, Dawn and Aria, in my honest opinion, are my two favorite games in the series. All right. And from the I Want the Entire Overload Super Replay group, Joshua Caleb. Yo, love this game, possibly more than Aria, but yeah, those mandatory drawing finishers on bosses suck. A ROM hack to remove them would be awesome. There is one.
It's there. It's just go to romhacking.net and search for Dawn of Sorrow. I think it's the first thing that comes up.
Which makes this game much more fun. And from Sebastian Games, this has one of my favorite hidden modes of the series in the form of Julius Mode 2.0, or whatever you want to call it. It's Julius Mode, but...
Yeah.
And from the official...
Oh, you say that because you can Julius Mode and Aria of Sorrow also.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I forgot that game had a Julius mode.
I think it does. I
think you're right.
Played it. I need to do that now.
And from the official Laser Time community, from Ian Frederick, it has the best greatest hits box cover of all time. For those that don't know, the greatest hits cover is just this cover put on a white background. Yeah, so it looks really stupid as hell. Look it up. The Dawn of Sorrow greatest hits cover. It's the dumbest fucking greatest hits cover ever.
I hate greatest hits covers, period.
They're usually not that bad. I mean, they normally don't take the same image of the DS cart of like the whole DS case and then put it in the middle of their cover and put a white screen and then put a ugly border around it. It's like, why? I miss greatest hits.
By the way, I was wrong. ROM hacking is not the place to go. If you go to inverteddungeon.com, they've got links to the different randomizers on there, and they've got the Dawn of Sorrow randomizer, and using that, which is on GitHub, but I don't want to tell you like a big GitHub link. And then that you can set it to not randomize anything and just turn off the.
There's also just a pre-patched ROM too. That's what I found.
Oh, okay.
You can Google it. Google
pre-patched ROM, and then you don't have to mess with the utilities.
Yeah, Google will find it for you. It found it for me. And from Kyle Foster, friend of the show, I am forever grateful for the ROM hacks of this game that do the touchscreen stuff for you. Makes it way better. All right. And from Nick Clark, doesn't quite measure up to Symphony Night for me personally, although I would understand why someone might prefer it or even argue that it's objectively better. That said, it's excellent from top to bottom and without question a desert island DS game for me. The only DS game I played more is Advance Wars Dual Strike. Okay.
Another DS.
Ah, damn it. From Greg DeRino, it's real good. Okay. And from Ryan Cottrell, I'm actually playing this game for the first time and enjoying, but man, I wish I had known about the version that patched out the drawing seals. Those things are awful.
Yeah, that is what everyone brings up, isn't it? It is the big like glaring black eye on this game.
Yeah.
It's the stupid. And it's it's funny because it's the same thing playing Wii games. The waggle is always in playing any Wii game like emulated with the waggle taking out like always makes it better.
Yep.
Like I played through recently Metroid Prime on emulated, playing the Wii version, but with an Xbox controller, and that game feels like it was designed for an Xbox controller, and is amazing to play that way. It's so much fun. It's so much better.
Remember, you can't play your Dolphin on Steam because they got rid of it.
They can't.
There's another way to play Dolphin,
Yeah, I was saying.
If only there was another way to play it.
I just thought it was so funny when people were all upset when they took it off Steam. I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck cares?
Like Dolphin was like banned from the Steam Deck. It's like, no, you just have to download it like any other program that's not.
Yeah, you just don't. It was just funny. Like, it's fucking Nintendo. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was. I mean, I thought it was kind of ballsy to put an emulator on Steam in the first place, but yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, when I heard
RetroArch is on there.
Yeah, I know, but like, haven't people like? I guess the only reason to put emulators on Steam is to make it easier to put it on Steam Deck. I guess. No,
you don't. I mean, you just download EmuDeck and it was really fucking easy. But it wasn't that easy. I take that back. It was. I'll say,
like, people know you could just go to RetroArch.com, right? Like, doesn't the Steam Deck have a browser? Like,
yeah, no, it was just stupid Nintendo did that. And another one from Sean Leal here's a good one. Bought this game and a DS on release and spent 5 hours playing it on the toilet because it was the only private place in my house at the time. Second favorite Igavania next to Order of Ecclesia.
Hey, somebody has the order of the DS games right. Good job. Nice.
And from Philip Monroe.
I beat this game on an airplane, but I did not beat it on a toilet.
5
He's like,
hours
I had pants on, toilet lid down, just sat there because it was the only private place. Like,
oh
funny.
No, you're gonna get hemorrhoids, my guy.
From Philip Monroe, I really liked it. Haven't been able to replay it before the aforementioned drawing seals, but I enjoyed it at the time. Well, you can take that out now. So
yeah, at the time when it was less annoying when I played it the first time, but now that I have things to look back on. It's like, oh, this is really, really bad. Like, it was annoying at first, whatever. But, like, I was just sort of used to it at that point. Like, so many retro things that happen. Like, back in the day, It's like, whatever. But
it's the same. We all enjoyed bowling with Grandma on the Wii back in 2008 or 2007. And then by the time you're playing, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, you're like, oh, fuck this shaking shit.
to go along with that funny joke, when I worked in an assisted living place, they had a Wii, I'm pretty sure.
That's great.
It wasn't hooked up, but we had a Wii.
My wife's grandma actually came over to our house and bowled with us when we got our Wii back in 2008.
Speaking
of good
old
for people like that.
Speaking of old people playing Wii, I was just playing Wii Tennis the other day.
You are old.
I am old.
On the show right now.
Yeah, and I do still play Wii Tennis on a fairly regular basis.
I hate
that's good. That's good. It's still a pretty good tennis game.
It's still the best tennis game, and WarioWare Shake It is also great on the Wii.
That is true. WarioWare Shake It is very good.
And from the last group I'm going to read from, called Castlevania, I got a ton of comments. Well, thank you guys, because I'm not going to read all these because I don't want to. I don't have time. But I'm going to pick out some. From Kevin Wade, Mom got me this before a 19-hour road trip, one of my favorite games of all time. See, a game your mom found.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
That's why I had to read that, too. From Devin Scott, don't have a whole in-depth analysis or anything, but this is probably my favorite Castlevania. Really love the music and Julius mode. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, again, I never had people wrong with your favorite. Whatever game you love.
Yeah, for sure. Like, any of these games, like, I can see being someone's favorite. It's like, I think it's like Souls games where it's like, if it's your first one, you're like, oh yeah, this is, of course, is the best one.
Dark Souls 1 for me.
That's Dark Souls 3 for me. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, but I played Dark Souls 3 first, and it's still my favorite.
Yeah, Bloodborne is Bloodborne's my favorite game of all time. And that was the first legitimate From Software Souls game that I played.
That's a good game to be your favorite too.
I got into the Souls series through Lords of the Fallen. I'll talk about that at some other point. That's way too long of a story.
Okay. I do want to put those on the show, but if I do, it'll be a game that I can't replay. So.
Well, speaking of Lords, we got to do Castlevania Lords of Shadow next, right?
I'm waiting on those, but I do want to cover those really bad.
I was just playing Lords of Shadow. I was going to say not too long ago, but it was probably a year and a half ago at this point. They're not that bad.
I loved it when I played it.
I've heard the second one is actually good.
The DS one?
Well, no, I mean Lord's Shadow 2. Sorry.
Oh,
Right?
I only played the first one, the DS one, and I never touched Lord Shadow 2, even though I have it on Steam. I really want to play it one day. But
Yeah, I've got all three of them on Steam because they did a PC. They did a PC port of the 3DS one.
It's a decent game.
I have that one on, I think, Xbox. Like, I think that one came out on everything. The side scroller one.
Game.
Yeah, it did. It came out on. It came out on everything.
Yeah, it's good. I think that's the best one of that series.
Oh, that's the one that people say is good. Is like legit good. Mirror of Fate.
Yeah.
Mirror of Fate's not bad. It's a decent Metroidvania. And here's a couple from Stephanie Berzinski. It's fun. Never got around to finishing it. Aria definitely pulled me in more. And here's one I was thinking of from Justin Sekula. Haven't played just because I got into the series very late, but also their choice to use cheap anime art instead of bringing back Ayami Kojima still kind of ruins it. So it didn't bother me, but I get it.
Yeah, I did look up the cover. Soma does look like a baby on the cover of that.
Yeah.
I'm usually just seeing the spines of them. I don't pull them out very often. But now that I'm looking at it, man, they do make him look like a small 8-year-old child on that cover.
But if you buy the one from China, that's definitely legit. Definitely legit. For $20, you don't get the case, so it's okay. You won't know. I just can't get over that, where they just said brand new, and I'm like, come on now, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding?
Oh, I just looked up the greatest hits. Is it a picture of the DS box on the DS box?
Yes.
You want to talk about it being terrible? I just looked it up. Oh my god.
Jesse Evans, my second favorite Metroidvania style Castlevania. Symphony Night being number one. Okay, that's correct. Number one.
Yeah, I think that has to be the correct number one.
Yeah.
This has more stuff, but more doesn't necessarily mean better.
Yep.
Also, for me, the fact that I don't have souls in Symphony Night makes me enjoy it more because I can't play it wrong.
And you just don't do the spells.
I don't. What do you think, Kerry? I've never done the spells.
Do you not turn into mist?
I do. Okay, I do the mist, I do the wolf, and I do the bat. I do not do any of the other spells. Not a single one.
I do the one where you teleport and send out the orbs.
Nope. I don't do a single
jump
spell.
Around the screen doing that one in some of the boss fights.
I will not. I play games wrong. Okay.
No, I want it. I hate hard games, but I like to make games that I play harder.
Do you use the familiar in
I use the familiar.
And you use the sword, right?
So yep.
Because that's the correct familiar.
Yes.
That is the canonical.
Oh, no, I don't use the sword. I don't remember who I use, but I don't think it's the sword.
What is wrong with you?
I would argue, thanks to the Netflix anime, the sword is the canonical one, too.
Oh, yeah, because in the end, I can't. Okay, I haven't played Symphony Night since episode 100, which you're just listening to 240, so it's been a fucking 140 weeks since I played Symphony Night. Can't really.
It's been 140 weeks. No.
Oh man, that's one of those songs that just I don't know what it is. It's the same with Finger 11 song. When you hear the opening of that song, Paralyzer, it just hits the same thing. I can't think of the opening right now.
We played that at our wedding.
Oh, I like the song. It was I like both those songs. They were on a CD I had called Pulse, which had 20 great hits that I bought on CD back in early 2000s.
Now that's what I call music.
Yeah, never had any of those dumb things, but yes, they weren't bad. But then I learned what pirating music was, and that's it. So, and then from Matt Moyer, Portrait Ruin is my favorite DS game. Granted, it's also the only one I play, but it rules.
Oh my god. You poor sucker.
So, from Eddie Rodriguez, great game. I wish they would have a separate game, like a prequel of Julius Belmont. Don't we all? Don't we all? All right, here's a good one from Jotun Reed. My favorite Castlevania game of all time, and probably number 5 favorite overall game of all time.
That's crazy. You're a crazy man.
Maybe his mom found it too, so that's probably why it means something. I mean, I can see why someone would love this game. Okay, this is not a bad game, or
no.
Symphony Night is better, but Symphony I can get it. I'll take it.
Play Symphony of the Night before you say something crazy like this is the best one.
All right, from Christian Fegelbaum. It's the reason I got a DS back in 2004, and I enjoyed seeing Alucard again and playing as the modern Sympha. Yeah. Right.
I just want to make it clear that these opinions are mine and not of the show. So if I'm making fun of somebody and they're listening to the show, Mike is not responsible for my shitty comments.
No, Mike is not. Right. Okay, from Duck, if I'm saying that right. The first time I played this game was on a Java phone, and then I was introduced to the whole series of Metrovania in this series. The whole world of Metrovania in this series. Okay, hey.
Yeah, I was just looking that up. Yeah, that it was
on
released on certain cell phones.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was... Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out what they... so maybe they're from... Because I know, like, I think that might be just in, like, Japan or in the Asian market that it was released on mobile phone.
Okay, that's cool though.
Because I think Japan for a while had like a lot of games like phones specifically like pre-smartphone phones that were like made for gaming they're called Java phone, unless I'm way off, but I've heard of that with some other games too. That's really cool.
Sounds accurate.
I'm curious to see what that looks like.
And from Michael Becker, the patch ROM makes it so much better with not having to draw those symbols. I think it fixed the LUT stat issue too. All right, that's cool. I did not know that. From Berserker Dre, is not bad, fun, but Portrait of Ruin is the GOAT on the DS, and Order of Exila follows after. Oh, people love this game. Hey, I'll take it. People love Portrait of Ruin, I should say too. Like I want to go back to Portrait of Ruin because I liked it, but it also was the only DS game I'd played at the time. I hadn't played Aria.
I might have to replay Portrait of Ruin because it sounds like these maniacs think it's the best one, and that's insane to me. But
I can give you a reason to next year.
I'll give it another. I'll give it a shot.
Because I've been meaning to replay that game for this show for over 2 years now.
So I just looked up the Java thing that they were talking about.
Yes,
this is really interesting, and you can download it to play on your computer. Oh. It's like. It's not 8-bit, but it's not quite. It's 16-bit, but I don't know. It's how to even explain it. I've never seen. It's really neat looking.
You have my attention, sir.
Yeah,
I will say that. Okay, and last one I'm going to read from Bella Emerkale. I played Dawn before Aria. Ironically, I really liked it. Never got to play Symphony Night back then, so I had this instead. Okay.
If it's instead of, I can see what's going on.
Some people never, you get what you get.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah. I totally get what you get.
But no, I also get where you're coming from too. I just think it's funny how many people are loving Portrait of Ruin after you talked all the shit about it. I just find it hilarious. I'm gonna have to go back because I don't know that I'm wrong, but it's also been. I think that one is the one that I know that it's the one that I played the least, but like I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check it out again. I really liked it when I played it, but again, it was like 4 years ago. I want to say it was, I think the podcast was around. I can't remember. Maybe it was before. I do not remember. But I just know that I played it once and I liked it a lot. Okay, that Java thing is kind of cool looking, actually. That's not that far off.
No, I posted it in the Games the Mom Found Discord also for our listeners.
You just have to scroll back about a week from the time you're hearing it.
For the listeners that are listening to us this live.
Which is just us three.
Is that a Patreon level they can listen to us record live?
No. Because I don't want to do live yet. I should. I really should do it, but
I'm fucking around.
I know. Someday, maybe. We'll see.
Well, you did say all that terrible stuff in the middle of the episode.
And all that stuff about China and Israel.
China selling fake games. Who would have thought? Who would think that?
Oh, wow. This does look really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that brings us to our last segment, Shelf Stacker Box. And Michael, why don't you go first?
I think I'm going to shelf. I'm going to shelf this one just because it is a Castlevania game, and the Castlevania games are on the shelf with the Souls games. They're the ones that I buy to, have on the shelf because I'm a crazy person. It's my fourth favorite Castlevania game, which is still like probably in my top 25 of all time games.
Okay. This is right below Portrait of Ruin then, right?
Portrait of Ruin, probably in my top 330 games.
I can't wait to replay it for the show. Just wait. Don't play it until we do. We'll do it next year. I promise.
Nope.
Just don't play it until then.
Okay, I won't play it until then.
I'll give you an excuse. Okay. I want the live one. That won't be live. But I want the current reaction. Like fuck this.
All right. Okay, I'll wait.
I'll try to work it. I can work it in February. That's because I'm already everything planned out.
Hey, my birthday.
So, and Kerry, what about you?
Shelf. I'm still playing it. Like I'm probably gonna, after we leave here, I'm probably gonna go and play some more of that randomizer. So yeah, I love it. I want to take back. I said this is my second favorite. I'd say it's my third favorite Castlevania after Aria, and of course my favorite I mean, my fifth favorite video game and my favorite Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. So, but it's great. Dinosaur is great. Probably not going to play it again for a while, but I'll keep it on the shelf for when I do want to.
Okay. I'm going to put this in the stack because I didn't really have a great time with it. Again, my fault. Completely my fault, but I just did not have a great time. And I wish
you know it's your fault.
No, it is my fault. I mean, the game didn't tell me don't use souls. I don't know. Me told me don't use souls.
I don't even know what to say.
I don't either. Yeah. I don't understand. Like, I played Area Sorrow. I used souls. I don't know why I didn't use souls in this game. I don't have
You're unhelpable.
It was just a really weird thing where I just didn't do it. And I'm looking back like, you made this game way.
I mean, you used them on the final boss at least, right?
I didn't have a choice. I couldn't beat him with just the axe.
No.
Okay.
No, you could not.
No, you do not do enough damage to him, and you can't get close to him without taking serious amounts of damage. And even with the best armor in the game and the you still take way too much damage to play that game. You have to actually hit him with a spell that will hurt him.
And one thing that's really helpful is the creature soul.
I didn't get that.
I would imagine
which is the hardest soul to get in the game. But
yeah, I would imagine that not using the souls for the rest of the game didn't make it that much easier if you weren't like used to using them.
I don't know why I didn't. It's really weird because it was just a really weird thing where I should have been. I don't know. I don't think I was in the right mood either. So I mean, I was
just
playing
to play the game.
I was playing the last week of the month, and I work in a sales job. So I mean, for those that work in sales, the last week of the month can be hell, especially when you're having a very bad month for sales. Yeah, so I don't think that helped my mood while playing this game either. So we'll just leave it at that.
Meanwhile, I played a lot of this while I was on vacation.
Yeah, I was doing 50-hour work week, which I never do. So that didn't help either.
I was playing a lot. Surprisingly, I was playing this a lot on the toilet.
For 5 hours, you just sit there and ignore everyone else?
No, not 5 hours. But that's when I get my handheld gaming in. And since I completely quit out on Mario Maker 2, which I was playing for a while, but then I was like, you know what, fuck this. So I switched to my DS, which I think is a better choice. I think the DS really is just a fantastic console.
Yeah, the DS Lite specifically is just like perfect.
Yeah, I actually use the 2DS because I always broke the. It has small screens, but it doesn't have a hinge, which I always break.
Oh yeah, the 2DS is great, and it's actually one screen.
Okay.
If you take it apart,
it also feels good in my hands.
Yeah, no, the 2DS, like the original 2DS, is a great system.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, if you take the front plate off, it's actually just one screen, and it just has the bezel separating the two screens.
Oh,
which is pretty neat. Yeah, and it has a digitizer on the bottom for the touch stuff, but it makes it's a real, from a console repair perspective, it's a real tank, really easy to repair. Doesn't ever need to be repaired though, because it's really good. Yeah, and if a screen goes out, not a big problem.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good system. But I like the DS Lite because it's small, compact. It's got that sleep mode, and you just pop it open and it's back on, and it plays GBA games.
Yeah, playing the GBA games is big.
Yeah.
And I put it on the show for the end of January of 2024. So that was my next open slot.
What?
So.
Portrait of
Ruin.
Okay. Cool. I'm probably gonna play it like this week, but I'll play it again in January.
Yeah, no, feel free. I just want Mike to wait since he's been bitching about it.
Because he's not gonna want to play it twice. Yeah, I'll be fine to playing it twice.
And who knows? Maybe I will want to play it twice.
We'll see.
But I'm not gonna play it until then.
I really liked it when I played it. I mean, but it's been a while. Yeah, I know. Every time.
I can't help myself.
Oh, it's fine. No one else can. That's why that song is still works. That's why I was listening to that song actually after we heard at the Toy Swap, and I was like, man, this song is like. It's been a while that I guess I really listened to lyrics. I was just all about like, yeah, I'm finally sober, or I haven't been sober in a while, and I've been a terrible boyfriend and stuff, and a terrible person. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, the guy who sings doesn't that guy suck?
I don't know.
Wait, which one?
It's Stained is the name of the group.
Yeah, that's the one. That guy, real asshole. Yeah, look him up. Yeah, the only reason that it's just funny. It's not a good song. I don't like the song, but it is funny to say it when somebody says it's been a while.
Oh, I know it definitely is. It's just one of those songs that just sticks, that you could just say, for some reason when someone says, you just hear it in your head.
Yep.
So I don't know why. I think it was staying. I'm trying to figure it out. It's not working out very well.
Oh yeah, no, he's a big Trump supporter.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and not only that,
and anti-vaxxer.
Yeah,
anti-vaxxer.
He's a real shithead.
Yeah, he just seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he sucks.
Well, if he wants, he can donate all his money to help out Trump. Trump will gladly take his political donations.
I'm sure he will.
The self-proclaimed billionaire sure does need money a lot. Let's not get political on
this.
Right.
Let's not get political. You know, I'll vote for Soma Cruz. How about that? He's got the power of Dracula and anime on his side. He can't lose.
That was good.
That was really good. And that actually not a bad slogan for your sign. Soma Cruz 2024. I have the power of Dracula and anime on my side.
Oh,
that was a vine, right?
It might have been.
That's a great ending for the show, I think.
And Michael, where can people find you at?
You can find me at Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex. It's a scripted comedy podcast, and you can also hear me watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for the first time. That podcast is called This Bizarre Adventure. Myself, who never watched the show, and then B. Highland, who is an amazing person, JoJo cosplayer, voice actor, really incredible, very funny person, helping me along on the Bizarre Adventure. And it's a real delightful podcast. It's less about the show and more about how we're horny for Dio.
Never watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It's great. It's wonderful. It's a fantastic show.
Okay. And Kerry, where do people find you at?
Hey, I'm Karuseta on Twitch and YouTube. That's Kerooseta. I modify and repair video game consoles and play video games, mostly Dark Souls and Dark Souls adjacent type games. Haven't done a lot of repairs lately because my workshop is in my garage. I live in Texas, and it was 105 degrees today.
Just remember, global warming's not real.
Yeah, so once it gets down into the crisp, cool 80s, I'll get back to the workshop and start repairing stuff again. But
after all of those consoles are melted.
Yeah. I was worried. I went out there and I was like, man, I hope these batteries are okay.
I'll stay up. I'll stay up in Minnesota in the cold.
I have a thermometer in my garage, and it said 115 the other day.
Oh,
because
I'll stay where I am.
Yeah,
I have no interest in going south. I'm like, nope.
Really, I just need to move my workshop indoors. Is what I need.
The world's heating up. I'll stay up here in the north.
Forget about solder smoke. Just put my workshop indoors and get the cancer. It's fine.
You can get a vent.
Yeah. I've got a vent. I've got a charcoal filter. It'll be all right.
Just move it in here. Just do it on your stove, and then you can just put the ventilation
on. See, boom. There you go. Working smart.
All right. If you enjoyed this episode, you can go on Pod. You can find everything we've done, over 500 episodes. If you want to hear more Kerry, go search Star Wars. You'll hear more Kerry. We do tons of Star Wars stuff. We've done a bunch of Castlevania episodes. Been a while since we've done one. Been a while. Well, I'm going to try to do more now since I have a cast that wants to do it. So you will definitely hear more of those because it's going to happen now. So definitely go check all that out. Want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok. Also, if you want to support the show, we do have Patreon, so you can go vote in our Patreon poll. I just started the spooky polls have started, so you can go in that. We're doing 2 different ones, and if I can find the poll, you can vote for a little as $1 watch Ouija, Origin of Evil, Suspiria, Night of the Creeps, or the Blair Witch Project. You can decide which one I'm going to watch.
The original
is the Ouija one the second movie?
I have no idea.
You need to put the sequel. That's a legit, really good horror movie.
And
I hate all horror movies.
Is Suspiria the original?
2018.
Oh, okay. The remake. It's fine.
The remake is. I think the remake's good. I mean, the
remake's good. It's
unnecessary.
Yes, and it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that style
I didn't
that the
I didn't
original
pick
has.
these. I let
Yeah.
other people that I'm friends with pick them. So, because I was like, well, I don't want to watch. Because this whole year has been movies that Mike has never seen as each of the Patreon poll topics. Because I don't know. I just started that and it just kind of stuck the whole year. So that's been the theme for this year. I watched some really bad movies and some really good ones too. So. A little bit of both because people decide, and sometimes people are not nice to me. But yeah, so go vote for that.
Origin of Evil is the one you want. It's directed by Mike Flanagan.
Okay, Ken has picked it out, and he loves his horror movies and big movie guy on the show quite often. All right, and we do have a Discord. You'll see a link in the show notes. The Discord, I did update it. If you're someone that clicked on it in the past, well, no, it didn't work. It didn't work. Someone finally told me, so it's updated. I'm going to keep saying that. So join, please. I need more people to chat with.
Yeah, the Discord is hopping for a little bit, and then a week will go by and nobody says shit.
There's not enough people in it. I don't. Yeah. I don't like Discord.
Everybody's super nice in it.
Yeah.
By the way, I like the Discord. Everyone's super nice.
Except me. I'm mean.
And this show has a decent amount of listeners. Actually, I'm pretty sure at this point, we have a decent amount of people that listen to the show. I mean, most episodes don't go over 100 within a week in general, but overall, I'm pretty sure not the same people listening to every episode except for Richard. So good job, Richard.
That's better than my Twitch.
The Discord is fun, though. Definitely jump into the Discord.
Please. I need more people to talk to, and I will post more shit. So, all right. Oh, and want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker. He started his own podcast, A Gamer Looks at 40. Also been on the show many times and did all the MCU stuff with me. Go check him out. Started his own show, Gamer Looks at 40, in case I didn't say it. I can't remember. And I think that, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, not Twitter, X. We're on there still. I don't post because X doesn't like me. And I'm on Threads. So follow us on Threads. And on YouTube. We're on YouTube with audio only, but there are people out there listening to the show on YouTube, I've noticed. Because I'm actually getting views and not just angry people thinking I posted a movie and not finding the movie. That was at one point. Thor Dark World has over 40,000 views of people, and then I had a bunch of angry thumbs downs at that time too. It wasn't Thor Dark World.
Yeah. Let's do video. You should start doing video.
Yeah, I should, but I'm not editing video, so I know I should just make it, just do an audio, do the video part and just throw it up there. One day. I need to do it one day.
Yeah, we've been recording for 6.5 hours. I don't know how long this is going to be once you edit it down, but
I have recorded that long before, not for one episode, but over the course of a day I have. So,
and usually it's when I'm in the cast.
Hey, I thought this would be a short one, and we're about almost 2 hours raw. So yeah. Oh, and I completely forgot what I'm talking about next week. If you're still here, next week we're talking about Kingdom Hearts 358 by 2 days. Which is way better than anybody thinks. I can say that.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'll listen to the episode.
Oh my god, I wouldn't tell anyone. If you're not fully the whole thing with Kingdom Hearts is I got lucky and found 3 people. One guy who never played the series before, and 2 guys that love the series, and they're kind of taking us through as we're experiencing it. Because I'm in uncharted waters now. I've never played this far into the series. I've only played 1 and 2 before. It's a weird ass fucking series, people, as you probably already knew. So. But 358 by 2 days actually makes complete sense for that title, by the way. If you play the game, it makes complete sense. Doesn't make any sense to anyone else, but if you play the game and you understand what's happening, it makes complete sense. And I don't know how I feel about knowing that. So, yeah. All right. I can't believe I almost forgot to say it's been a night. So, yeah, that'll be, we'll listen to that. All right, I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.